Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Round 6, the second last round to go in what has been quite a long day. We're back with a matchup many have seen before. Sakazuki into Purple Luffy. Will Hudson back again on on Purple Luffy, really giving us a masterclass. Tyson on Sakazuki. We will see how this matchup fares. So, not again, as always, got him muted, so not sure who's won the dice roll. We will find out shortly. So it looks like Tyson electing for a mulligan and is just cutting his deck now. Will, all good to go. So let's see how this one is going to play out. I think there might only, I know there's one, there might actually be two Sakas, one NL and one Purple Luffy undefeated at the moment. Going first is going to be Purple Luffy. This could lead into the turn 2 page 1 ulti combo potentially, but we will wait and see. Probably just a 4k vanilla coming down if I were to have a guess. Kuzan going down, followed by a brand new from Tyson. Probably going to pick up the Hina. Has to. Only legal target. That possibly sets up a turn 2 play as well. Let's see what the 4-Don turn for the Pluffy player is going to bring. 5k swing to lead. Drops the Hina that he just picked up. He's going to activate leader ability. And 4, are we just going to see a vanilla? Are we going to see an Ain? I don't think they run Ain. Let's have a look. And, oh, there we go. The page 1 ulti combo. So here, they're guaranteed to get one swing off. So this might be favorable here for the Purple Luffy. But if Tyson hits next turn, the eruption into Lucci, it could, or double great eruption into Lucci, it could be back-breaking here. So we've got the 5k swing coming first. We'll probably see a counter out of that. I think he's going to use the ability one more time next turn to get to 6 possibly. It does take Paulie off the board here. Now that's interesting. Down goes the Purple Law. I think that could have really done some damage against Sakazuki here, but he is aggressively defending his life here. So we're going to have a lot of swings. We see the leader ability straight away, probably just digging for some options in terms of what to play. That is Will here. Let's see. Straight away separated 4 and 2. We'll probably see, because we could see 5, 5, 7 and a 5 cost. The 4 cost, I'm not sure what could. I don't think they'd have. If he has another ulti page 1 combo that could be worth doing, that might just be too much for Sakazuki to deal with in this early stage. So in comes the 5k swing. Tyson electing to take it so it wouldn't. And we also have the Borsalino now, sorry, I forgot to mention. So this, I feel, will be an easy block with the Borsalino for Tyson. Yep. I'm going to go 8k into the Borsalino. So it's either 2 cards out of hand or I've cleared your play for that turn. The 4 cost could be a range of different things. It could be another page, like a 4 cost 6k. It could be the ulti page 1 combo again. Let's see what he's thinking. He has used leader ability, so that won't go to a surprise, 5-Don here. And get out. Oh, get out. He knows when to put his foot to the pedal. And we're seeing an ulti page 1 combo again. He will be at, 6 Don, if I'm not mistaken. So he can probably clear off 2 of these quite easily if he does see the Great Eruption. Getting rid of a Borsalino, I think Borsalino is a bit of a moot point here. The Purple Luffy player has just gone so wide that I think it's just a fraction too slow. And now Tyson staring down such a wide board, and he's got to start clearing it too. So we see the 1. There's the Great Eruption. So I have a feeling there is some Lucci shenanigans coming. Doesn't matter what it hits, really. It'll hit the active ones, obviously, and probably targeting the page 1 first. So that's probably down to a 2 cost so far. Leader Swing can drop it to 1. If he's got another Great Eruption, that's probably his best play, I would say here. Great Eruption, just such a strong card when dealing with wide boards in combination with Lucci here. So, we've got Saka going into the red zone. He'll probably go into the ulti that Dan has on the right-hand side of his playmat there on stream. He's going through the math now. If Lucci wants to clear something, he needs to have either a Great Eruption or an Ice Age. Hina Houndblaze could potentially do something with the Branu as well. So he could bottom deck the page 1, put the 3k onto Branu, and try and clear the other page 1. That'd also be a really, really good play. So it looks like 5 into ulti. He'll probably say... He's committed to the play now. I feel he has to save it. There's the Sphinx, yep. Probably not playing it at this point in the game. I'd rather put the Don on the others and pressure life. Now, 5 Don. You feel... Okay. Oh, okay. This will draw another card out if he's got it. Unless it's into... you have to commit here, surely. That lets you use leader ability quite safely next turn as well. There's the 2k. And what do we have? We've got the Hina, and that's just... Wow. So Tyson really on the back foot. No answer to these ultis and these page 1s. And now we're really going to see, I guess, probably the most accelerated turn from Will here. You might chip away with a few... Okay, he's going to go the Branu first. I'll be honest, I don't think you need to. But his hand is getting quite low. And the Hina disappears! And now he's just going to go, you know what? 5, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7 probably. Or 5, 6, 5, 5, 7. Oh no, he's already cleared he already swung lead. So 5, 6, 5, 7. Get him to 2. Couple of cards out of hand. And if he swings 7 here, he's surely probably going to go to 1. This is how you beat Sakazuki. And he's just going to leave it. He's probably got the Blast Breath and thought, you know what? I'll get a 2k out of your hand. I'd much rather save my Blast Breath. He probably has limited counter cards. We have seen quite a few come out to save this. But wow, what a start by the Purple Luffy player. Sakazuki on the back foot. His 8 Don turn with nothing to show for it. And like, what can he play here to get himself out of it? At most, he can drop 2 blockers. The respected Hina Lucci combo can't remove 2 things. 9 Don he could have, but not at this. So I think Tyson's just going through the motions now, figuring out how can I stall this board as much as possible. Yes, Will does only have 2 cards. One of them has to... And normally I say they bluff it. This has to be a Blast Breath. And here it comes. Ready? You have to use a Blast Breath here, surely. You need to... Unless it's going into an ulti and he thinks he could probably get away with losing one of them. But I feel that, yep, there's the Blast Breath. He'll save that. And now what do we got 6 Don for? Is that a Man Sherry? No, sorry, Ice Age. So this is where... Okay, so now we're going to see the great double Ice Age into Lucci. Now, this is going to seem like a really, really good play from Tyson here. And I think it's the best that he can muster. I think it is still good. But the thing is, that has just drained 3 cards out of his hand. He's... Unless... And even if Luffy... takes the life next turn to ramp a Don, he's still not really at risk here. I think that a couple of 7k swings here and then finishing it off with the ultimate crescendo is just going to do it. He is not at 9. A Kaido here would be absolutely backbreaking as well. Seeing 2 Ice Ages means he's probably not going to die. 8 Don, so there's a 7. Have you got the counter to get out of it? I've got 2 swings left after this, so he can afford one of them to whiff at this point. There's the 2 and the 1. Do you poke with a 5? No, he's going 7. He's going to make sure of it. And surely you have to take it here. But he doesn't. He just goes 9. And only 2 cards anyway, so it's impossible for him to get out of it. My goodness. Will Hudson. 2 ulti page 1 combos. And Tyson stumbling in the mid-round there. Not able to remove enough of the pressure. And coming through with the Dubski, we are going to go to another game. But that was unbelievable, that start from Will on the Purple Luffy. Double page 1 into the Paulie, just keeping his board clear and putting enough pressure to, I guess, put a stop to it. So, we're going to go down to table 2. This is our other undefeated matchup here. So... we have the Saka player that we saw pull off the incredible comeback win last game. And we have an undefeated Enel. So it's going to be... What were the final 4? It was Saka, Enel, and... I can't remember what I said. Yeah, Saka, Enel, and the purple Luffy. We got purple Luffy going to be in the finals, and it's either going to be against Enel or Sakazuki. Now, obviously, still early game here. It's very difficult to kind of determine who's really got the upper hand here, but we see the Saka down a life. Were there some tech issues? Or maybe the purple Luffy player just literally finished it that quickly that this is the point that we are at in the game. So Branu takes care of the pudding. 5 into the Enel, who'll probably happily take that. We have a trigger. Oh, this is Enel with the Big Mum Pirates. So this is a treat. We get something a little bit more diverse here. Now, we've got the Perospero down. Saka can still go a nice Houndblaze. Is that... Oh, it's a Championship Kuzan. Nice play there. He'll use leader ability to discard the Hina and pass turn. But the Perospero is out. Is this going to be able to provide enough pressure? Now, how many Dons that? That's going to be 5. 3 life. Yadatsu is online to take care of the Branu, and we can pressure with leader swing and Perospero. But if we have the Big Mum Pirates in there, Yadatsu may not be available. So we're going to go 5 leader. Oh, 5 Branu. Okay. Can dig it. So 5 Branu and then 7 leader. Do we follow up with another Perospero here? Is this a Houndblaze? Is Houndblaze bounce a 3? Let's find out. Just going to load that card up. Because you very rarely see triggers come up outside of... It could have actually been Ice Age as well. That KO's a 3. If it was a Houndblaze, I feel he would have triggered that. Having a look at the trigger. It is a 3 or less to hand. So I think he would have triggered that if it was a Houndblaze. So I'm thinking it might have been an Ice Age. And maybe he needs that for the late game removal of the Big Mums. But surely that would have... Knowing you've got the Kuzan out, surely that would have been the play there. Anyway, we're going to unrest. Sakazuki's going to go to 6 Don. And a thick hand at that. Only a Kuzan to show for it, though, at the moment. But there has to be some combination of Houndblazes here if he's going to deal with these Perosperos. Otherwise, I think they're going to start probably just whittling that hand down a little too quickly. He's gone through the math now. He's probably going to neg the one that's active. Now, where's he swung, though? Okay, so he's gone into there. He'll let that die, and he'll look at the top 3, try and get a 7 or a 10 cost is probably the ideal grab here. He's got choices. He's not bottom decking straight away. He's just working out probably, do I want a 2k or do I want a 7 or 10 cost here? He opts for the 2k. So probably got a bit of a late game hand, I reckon, with maybe some Katakuris, a few other bits and pieces. Grab the Amande, or whatever, however you pronounce her name, the 2k. Very unlikely going to see her played. That is a big hand over here as well. What's that? I count about 8 or 9 in there. And let's see how they manage this. So swing 5 and just happily takes it. Wants to get down to 1, ideally for the Yamato play. And what are we going to follow up with on 6? We're going to see a Mancherry. We're going to see a Branu. Let's find out. Even another Kuzan I don't think is too bad here. It's worth noting, I think if he had the Houndblaze, he would have played it and then put the +3 on the leader, bottom decking that Perospero there. It is 0. Maybe he doesn't want to KO it. I don't know. Let's find out. The Pero getting that value back is just unreal. Okay, so we're going to go Rebecca, grab a Hina, and then it's just going to Houndblaze anyway. You'd think with a hand that big he would have one, but he's just going to pass with 2 Don open. Okay. So, I believe this is a 7 Don turn. We'll probably see 2 5k swings into the Kuzan. Kuzan's the one that's really going to cause him the most grief here, and he has to defend this Kuzan with his life. We could start seeing the Big Mums come down, but it feels like the Sakazuki player will be able to confidently deal with those. For those tuning in, sorry for the names being wrong on the left. Game 1 finished incredibly quickly. Purple Luffy just dropping 2 page 1 ulti combos, turn 2 and turn 3, and Sakazuki just not able to remove any of them. So I think we've just seen a misplay. And he realizes it too. So he's going to drop down that, give it the +3, but it means nothing because Rebecca's going to get in the way. So Sakazuki player catching a break here. We're going to go 8k into, realistically, has to be Kuzan. I think he's going to take a turn. Oh, might be taking a turn off to deal with the Kuzan. I feel like he's going to probably block and then force the opposing, the Enel player to put more Don on to realistically kill this Kuzan. So he's grabbing some... Oh, is this going to combo? 2 2Ks? Alright. That's not a huge loss for the... for the Enel player here. Now we're going to see a 6k swing, and that forces the block. And there is the 4-cost Sanji. He will pass turn there. It's opening up to a really good Rob Lucci turn. If he has Rob Lucci in hand, this is just swing with Kuzan, neg 4 on the Sanji, swing with lead, neg 1 on the Pero-Sparrow, and then just drop the Sakazuki. Sorry, not the Sakazuki, the Rob Lucci to KO the whole board. Yes, he'll get a card off the Pero-Sparrow, but you've literally put a 4-cost 6k on board that's cleared 2 of their cards. I know this might sound really brutal, but sometimes playing the Sanji mid-game just isn't great, particularly when Enel's hand is that large. I think that this could just be an ultimate board wipe from the Sakazuki player. Let's go on through the motions. He'll be 8 Don from memory. 8 Don. Let's see what he does. So here's just a cheeky 5k swing. Are you going to take it? Are we going to get you to 1? Yep, he'll take it. Is it a Thunderbolt? Oh, that could have punished the Saka player if it was a Thunderbolt taking out the Kuzan. Now, is it a point where he can... Yeah, okay. I still... Oh. See what he does here. Okay, it was... Ooh, it might have been into the Pero. I'm actually a... we could see a Borsalino also just take care of the Sanji here. So he'll look at top 3. He'll probably want to find a 10 cost because that's how you close out the game. He'll take a Thunderbolt. Not the most ideal target, but maybe just didn't have any other real valid target. There's the Borsalino. We'll drop the Sanji to the bottom of your deck, please. Is he going to swing with the Kuzan? That's what I want to know. My gut is telling me he should. Now, a lot of people will kind of crack back and go, well, hang on a second. Wouldn't he want to save it for... Actually, no, there's no point in swinging the Kuzan at all. Ignore what I was going to say. I was going to be like, well, he might as well get it into the red zone because he could defend it easy with such a big hand, but it's just going to be a cycle for Enel. So absolutely he's not going to swing with that Kuzan and keep it active. It takes the Yamato off the table for KOing the Kuzan as well. So we've probably got, if I was to have a guess, I think we're going to see a Katakuri come down and take care of the Borsalino. Interesting. Such a big hand, but he didn't put the 2k down to save it. Do we see the Katakuri probably put... Yep, it'd put the Borsalino bottom. It may look a little bit dire for the Katakuri player. I think Sakazuki can possibly take this opportunity to slam a 12 cost and just start closing the game out. Oh, sorry, 12 cost. 10 cost secret here to start closing out the game. Because I don't think the yellow Enel player is going to be able to come back from that. But we see the Great Eruption first, possibly cycling hand. They let the Hina die, so maybe they're out of 2Ks and they just want to dig. So that's down to 6. Borsalino will cover the removal of that now. And we can get... We even have a Kuzan swing to drop it even lower, so a possible Houndblaze as well. We could see some big dot, like maybe a 9k swing from Kuzan into lead. Drop the Katakuri down to 2, and then Houndblaze it to the bottom, making leader an 8, and then just put the remaining Don to force him to 0. And then the Yamato won't be able to KO the Kuzan on the next play. But a lot of lines here. Both players with quite sizable hands. You feel the advantage is well and truly with Sakazuki at this point. But it seems to me like their hand might be a bit bricked if they didn't want to save the Hina, or whether they wanted to reuse it. So let's have a look. He's got 9 Don left over. What's he thinking? He's going to Man-Sherry, and I can respect that. If he's got a way to remove this, it forces the Enel into a really bad situation of like what to attack, because you'll probably get Kuzan into the red zone as well. So getting back to Rebecca, play the Rebecca into the Houndblaze maybe? Well, into the swing from, sorry. Man, this is actually really tough. He's got so much going on here. There's the 5k swing. Get it down to a 2 cost. And still have 6 Don active. I feel like you have to... you have to defend this. Gadatsu's not doing anything here. It could kill the Man-Sherry, but... I don't know. I'd have probably even poked with 7, depending on what his plan was. But, again, I think we're probably... This leads me to believe Houndblaze is off the table, because why would you only swing 5k if that's like your ultimate end turn kind of play? Can try and go table 6 after this. We'll see how it goes and how much time's remaining. Saka played deep in the tank. You think after getting back Rebecca, they'd have a line, but maybe they weren't expecting the counter out. They were expecting a cycle. Rebecca comes down. There should be 4 Don active. There's the Hina. That's at 0 cost now. Are we going to see... Surely it's... Yeah. But the trouble is... Yeah, there's the bottom deck. I can only see 1 Don, which I don't think the math... Oh no, Great Eruption. Sorry, we did Great Eruption. I think it's 6k, like... Because now that 1 last Don is sitting there awkwardly, like, he's just going to get a cycle out of this. Maybe a little bit of an oversight from the Sakazuki player, but that's okay. I still think well and truly in control here. And as we've just seen, no swing. Like, I don't want you to cycle this. I count 8 off the top. No, 8? Yeah, 8. Looks like 8 cards in the NL's hand. Let's see how they choose to navigate this turn. 6 probably into Man-Sherry. 9 would be the Yamato to KO Hina, I'd say. Maybe Man-Sherry, because Man-Sherry's just going to start getting incredible value getting back these Rebeccas. It has to be. Oh, wait, no, 3 life. Of course it can KO the Kuzan. My apologies, guys. A bit of glare. I couldn't see. I remember the Borsalinos at the bottom of that life. Yep, my apologies. Forgot about the glare there. Kuzan's 100% the right play there. But now Man-Sherry can just grab it back. He can play it and set up again. Let's see if he can deal with this Yamato, though. You can see the Sakazuki's hand start to shrink a tiny fraction. I think he's at 6 or 7 now. But with 10 Don, he's got a lot of options available to him. And the Hina as well as the Man-Sherry just hanging out there as well. You'd think if he had another Borsalino, it would 100% come down here. But unfortunately, you can't grab the Borsalino with the... Man-Sherry, so I'll just quickly bring that card up as well so we can have a look and talk about the options. I didn't see... I think he's just grabbing it now. It's grabbing back a Rebecca. But let's have a look at Man-Sherry while we wait. So any 2 to the bottom and a black... Has to be a black character card from 3 to 5. So the Borsalino is a 7 cost blue, so no, double negative there. We've got the -4 here onto... the Yamato. So Yamato will now be down to 5, 4 possibly with leader swing, but Borsalino 7 cost is off the table now. The Kuzan's off as well. That would have been perfect going, just swing, neg that by 4. Rebecca, Hina, neg another 4, and then just Rob Lucci it. So he has to be removing this Yamato this turn. Has to be. Do we hit a trigger? We do not. Saka player thinking over the options. And there's the Ice Age. This is probably going to be a Rob Lucci. And there it is. So he'll bottom deck 3 cards. That clears the way for the Yamato. Or clears the Yamato, I should say. That's KO'd. But worth noting, that board is actually really impressive from the Saka player, but he's only got 4 cards here. And this is why a lot of players have opted now to go towards a more of a Katakuri type build, because the 10 cost can really help stabilize against Sakazuki in that mid to late game. Now, still with a gigantic Bible of cards in hand here, but now the issue is this Enel player is going to get overwhelmed. You can just slam down another Yamato, which has to 100% be the play. Probably clearing off the Rob Lucci at this point in time. Go back up to 5, and then swing 6 into the Mancherry, probably forcing a block from the Rebecca. The time it's taking it, this player leads me to believe that the Enel player doesn't have another... No, oh no, Katakuri, there we go. So... I'm not a fan of this. I just have to be honest. Like, maybe there is just no better play for the NL player. But, see, what's this? Why are we playing... What? Oh, okay, just to get rid of it. Okay. So this was... Okay. No, okay, that makes a bit more sense now. Go 6 to Hina. This feels like a 2K coming out now. Yep, there it is. This might sound dumb, but wouldn't the better play have been to put the 1 cost out, KO the Mancherry, then play the Kata and put the 2K on top of life? Then you've got the 2, you've got that breathing room, and now as you see, we've got 4 swings from the Sakazuki, just 7-7-7. I'm draining your hand. And this sets up probably a win for Saka in the next 2 turns, depending obviously on triggers and different things like that. So still a bucket load of Don left, only 4 cards left from the Enel player, and it looks like they might be forced into taking this 1 card. This is why I don't think putting the blocker on top was necessarily worth it. So we'll put a life back, we'll discard the Lin. That's not going to do anything here. He'll just trash a life easily. And it's not going to gain anything. So 8 into leader. Blood in the water. Do we have the double 2K? We do. Okay. So this, he can possibly step back here. He's still going to probably swing 7. Maybe play a Branu. So take that. Go to 0. What trigger have we got? Oh! Whew. And there is the Olin that we saw at the end of one of our other streams. But here's the deal. Like, I don't think it's going to be good enough. Yes, his hand is small, but he's got 4 life. He can't win here. This is why I was thinking the putting the 1 cost back on top might have just been the better play here. Then you get to take a free attack, and you still get the Olin. And yeah. Anyway, let's see how he navigates this turn. 3 cards. Like, Saka's surely got this in the next 2 turns, unless there's some... Well, there's not even any big triggers to come at the moment. Let's see what he does. It's worth noting, like, it is a 7 and an 8 cost. Like, you can do some damage with them, but not having the life as backup is just going to hurt. So we had a 6. We're going to have a 7 into the Hina. We'll probably have an 8 into the Hina, but I think this is all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. Now, what have you got? Oh, no. Okay, Yami. No, that's fine. can KO the Rob Lucci. No, this is a fine recovery now. So we didn't have it a few turns ago, so we got it off life or off of top of the deck, which is good to see. Sakazuki representing 2, but still at 4 life. So 3 cards in hand again is really difficult for the Sakazuki player to really plan out, I guess, a big turn. But at the same time, like, how are you going to pressure this Enel player who has developed such a big board? Wow. Borsalino, out of hand. If you didn't have any Ice Ages or Great Eruptions, I get it. Unless it was a duplicate. Still at 3 in hand. Knows he's going to get a Borsalino off that second last life. Let's see how this is navigated from an L. You'd think... yes, VODs will be available after. I'll put them on my YouTube channel. If you just search a senior TCG, you'll find them that way. One of them I accidentally stopped recording, but started 5 seconds later, so I'm just going to splice those two together. But round 1, 2, I think it was round 5 I made that mistake. Maybe round 4. But yeah, all of them will be up later this evening after the tournament's ended. So bottom decking the Olin. Unless no leader swing could have taken out the, Katakuri, dropping it down. That makes sense. So establishing a threat. This is what I was talking about. Sakazuki's able to take a turn off now because it's like, well, I'm at 4 life now. Like, I can't see a world where you kill me in that time. It's just whether, because he can, at this stage, the Enel player can still put enough pressure on to go for the kill next turn, especially because Sakazuki is only at 2 cards. And we all know what this game's like. If he top deck an Enel or a way to get a card on top, it just creates that much more pressure as well. So let's see how Enel navigates this turn. 3 cards in hand, 10 Don, 1 life, 2 big threats. The Olin coming in clutch here. I reckon you're even safe just to poke 5. I reckon the Saka player will take that first life at 5. I don't think you need to go 7 here. No trigger there. So this could... I reckon this will be the 8 cost, putting back the 2k counter to the top of life. I can't remember if it's 1 or 2 Dom that's been put under it. It could also be a 7 cost as well. But why 10? There's no way he's going for game here. The Strusand surely can't deal that final bit of lethal. Let's see how this is going to go. He's used 2 Don. There's 8 Don remaining. I mean, you can't get the win. You can't get the win this turn. So it feels to me, you got to punch in some of that damage. There it is. Now, I shouldn't be touching the Branu. It should be putting that 2k. We could put back, and this is actually another really good play, by the way. He could put back the Olin on top, and then he can trigger it again, and he's thinking about it. Now, I'm actually... He's not dying. I think the Olin was probably a better play here, because now the Sakazuki player could go a little bit defensive, and 1 blocker can spell trouble for him. I think the Olin was the perfect target, honestly. Now, let's see how Sakazuki goes on the counter-offensive. He does have a big body now, that Mihawk. 9 costs 9,000 power from memory. Let's bring him up for some of the new players. Oops, wrong one. Ours look very similar. They actually do look very similar. He's sitting kind of like cross-legged. Anyway, there's the Mihawk. Bottom deck of 7 or less. So with the leader swing, the category went to 7, so that's why it was the better play. He really wants that 2K. The interesting thing as well, I just keep thinking back to that play, and Thunderbolt is just such a good endgame card for Enel when versing Sakazuki. That whole line, maybe I'm just not with the game anymore, but it just seemed like, I don't say it often, it seemed like the wrong play. And see, he's going to let the Olin die, like, that could have been your 3 cards of pressure. He would have need to have played 2 blockers. Here's your first one. Unless there's 200, a Thunderbolt and 200 million volts Amaru in hand. So let's see what he discards. He's definitely obviously looking for some 2K counter here. And Enel just continuing to battle away, finding the right cards at the right time here. What have we got? He's picked 1 to discard. He'll go to 4 after the discard. He's taking his time. Thinking about what he wants to drop. Probably going through the math and thinking, okay, what's the most efficient spread of Don? How am I going to survive this? Because he's got 2 life and both players know what they are. All right. 4 cards left. What's he dropped? That's a Borsalino and a Hina. So leads me to believe he's either got another Sabo or a Borsalino, or he's worried about the 200 million volts Amaru. Thunderbolt for the Sabo is now off the table. I think if you're the Saka player, you swing 5 here because he's probably not going to defend it with only 2 cards in hand. And then just don't give him the free cycle and hope they don't see another Yamato. So 5 lead, he'll take the 2, no doubt. See, and this is... Gets a Gadatsu, that's fine. There's no 2 cost, and there's the second Sabo. So now, once again, Saka taking back a lot of that advantage, getting the 2 Sakazukis. There you go, 2 cards. Thunderbolt, Sabo. The reason you're seeing it creep back into the meta is because of how good it is against yellow. Can't Amaru it, and you can't Thunderbolt it if it was played that turn. There's no Jambe in this list. I think he's still fine. Just even establish it. If he's got another big threat, just establishing it. There's an argument I could see for taking the 2K and dropping down Gadatsu as like another threat for the next turn and KOing the Branu. Interesting. Went after, and I don't mind that play at all, by the way. Went after the Mihawk, no block, no counter, and just dead at 2K. Higher. Now we'll start seeing some pressure on life. And I don't think there's a world where the Saka player could spread his Don efficiently and get the win. We're gonna see a Shirahoshi. Draw 3, ditch 2. What are you digging for? Double Thunder. Oh, I don't know about. Oh, maybe one of those might have been worth keeping. Oh no. And see the Gadats. Oh, I could be wrong. Maybe the Shirahoshi was off draw, but that Gadatsu just would have been very beneficial there, clearing out the Branu and guaranteeing basically that you're going to live. wisely keeps the Rebecca in life, doesn't attack him any further, keeps the Katakuri back, forces him to go into the 9k. He just didn't want him to have access to that Rebecca, but at 5 or 6 cards in hand now, he's no doubt going to have probably another Rebecca or another Borsalino. If he's discarding a Borsalino aggressively when he discarded the Hina off one of the Sabos, it's safe to say he's got more blockers coming. Here comes a 6k swing into lead. Probably just testing the water. Can I go for game? Yep, there's the combo out. Oh, sorry, the take. The take. The moment one of these Sabos gets in sideways, we're going to be seeing the Saka player go for game. If he's not being defensive, he's being offensive. Only 5 in hand. My apologies, guys. 5 in hand from the Saka player. Another me. I don't think he'd play another Mihawk. Surely not. Usually they run 1 or 2. Is that Great Eruption? Not sure what he's targeting, but we'll find out shortly. No doubt. So 8 Don remaining. We could see a Rebecca Lucci combo. Well, that won't. If he dropped the Katakuri down by 2, we could see the Rob Lucci combo come out. So get the Hina, play the Hina, scrap the Branu, play Lucci to KO the Katakuri. No, Houndblaze. Okay, so he's Houndblaze the... Are we 6? He can't put a dent into the Yamato, so he'll have to... I mean, you don't swing here, surely, right? He gets the cycle. I'm not sure why he's giving him that life. Yeah, so there's the Thunderbolt. And now, like... As I... Discarding the 2 Thunderbolts seemed really bad at the time, because I thought he'd just discard 1, but not 2. He does only have 2 main attacks, so he needs to clear both of the blockers here. But if he's got the Amaru into... I don't think he has another Thunderbolt. That was either the 3rd, possibly 4th that we know about. Let's see what he does. Discarded the Shira to get the life back. So could be getting... If he didn't see the Thunderbolt, I think he was planning on keeping... Just sending one of the Sabos into the red zone. Three cards. Just drops a Branu. Probably try and find a 2k. Let's see his options. He takes... I don't know what the card underneath the Rebecca is. I think it might be a Borsalino. But took the Tashigi 2k. And all player draws. He needs multiple... Well, multiple Amarus won't do it. He needs his Thunderbolt. I think that's what he's kind of coming to the realization of. But Thunderbolt Amaru will probably close the game out, and that's why I think he should have hung on to one of those Thunderbolts, not both. He knew about both the Sabos too, so that's what kind of strikes the whole situation as really odd. We'll go 9, test the water, and Dahina. Okay, so still controlling board at this stage, and the Saka player happily keeping the blockers back. We're going to see 3 into Branu. This going to be an Olin, maybe? A 7 cost Lin? Or is it going to be a Rush? Yeah, that's 7. Goes 10, so he's going to force a block. Yep. Oh, what's happened here? Are we going to get a ruling on this? Did he let go? I wasn't watching. I was focused on the Sakazuki players reaction here. We do have a judge in the room anyway. I might check time because we might be getting close to tiebreakers as well. Let's just check. Yeah, no, we would 100% be at time. So the Saka player should absolutely be... He's got to play something here. And then it would go to a third tiebreaker. So he's passing turn. Maybe there is still more time, or is he packing it up? It's always hard to tell sometimes when you got it muted. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was. And the judges just could be determining that now. And I think the NL player realizes that he's lost. Sometimes you got to play... Oh, okay. They had extra time. There you go. So they're still ongoing. So the Saka player has one blocker left, 2 Branus, 3 cards in hand. What do you put him on? So 7 at lead. Let's see. Is he going to take? He's kept the 2 Don open as well. He's thumbing over 2 cards. No, he's going to let it go. Do we have a trigger? Oh, Beige! Beige on the, Oh my goodness. What's he discarded? He discarded a 2K. So, that was a wild situation. I think he may have named the Sabo. But... in the same vein, depending on timing rules, it's always hard because we could be in a situation where they're playing to the timing rules and like, how do I get the last damage? I don't need to kill him. I just need to end the turn with 1 life and him at none. So they could be playing for that out. Here comes a 7k swing. He discarded a 2k. So, yeah, okay. So he had 3 2ks. So depending... Okay, and he's already... caponed one of them. So he can get him down to 0 life here, unless he's got another blocker. So this could be an insane comeback from the Enel player. Because he's not going to be able to get 2 attacks unless he's got a Rush Usopp, which no one really plays. And I think he's just going to go after the Shirahoshi here, and I like that play. But this opens him up to the Rush Enel play. He's got to be careful. Because you could go 7, 8, 9k swing, and he knows there's a 1k in hand. So you start with a 7 on the lead, then you play the Russianelle and go 8, and then you go the Yamato 9. If he has the Russianelle, we have seen him on the Big Mom Pirate build with Pero Sparrow. What's he doing here? Okay, so he's... What's Ice Age doing on top of Leader here? He's bottom decking... Yeah, so he's going to bottom deck that. Swing, take... And there's the Olin trigger! The Olin! The Hail Mary Olin! He'll get a turn. There's 1 blocker. Only 2 attacks. 11. He takes. The Olin just coming in clutch. For those watching, I think he had to... He couldn't have left him. If it goes to timebreaker rules, it's always hard without knowing how much time is left. But if it went to time, the yellow player just could have cleared the Branus and won on tiebreaker rules. Could this Olin cause an upset? So he went 11, 10, 10. Block. Send the 10 in. Flip the hand. 2 in... He can't do it. 2 in hand. We know it's a what... What the hell, ladies and gentlemen? flipping the Olin off the last life with all the questionable plays. What a game. Sam, I believe. Yep, stand up. You go for your victory lap. What an unbelievable game. We saw this Sakazuki player last round snatch victory. Let's be honest. Snatch victory from the other player. The other Sakazuki player misplayed by KOing, rushing so fast into it, KOing the Rebecca, forgetting to KO the Branu, and then ultimately that Branu delivering the decisive blow in that matchup. What a game, and we've still got one round to go. Purple Luffy up against Enel in our finals. We will see you shortly for that one.